I reminisce. Yeah. I reminisce for a spell, or shall I say?
Welcome to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast, your home for the mindset, methodology, and tools needed to be a successful foreclosure acquisition specialist. And now your host, the Foreclosure Deals Coach, Donny Coram.
All right, y'all, this is Donny Coram, your Foreclosure Deals Coach, and welcome to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast. So, hey, last week we checked out Foreclosure Deals Coach, kind of gave you some definition about what this podcast was going to be about. And look, I don't know if you're tracking the real estate market, if you know what's going on out there, but a lot of huge changes in the marketplace today. You've got Zillow Offers making a huge play for real estate business. You've got Open Door out there writing people offers, right? You've got the likes of Redfin, who are currently setting it up so the buyer's agent could be eliminated from the entire process altogether. What does all this mean? What's going to happen to us, the real estate agent? Well, a lot of people think that the industry is not in jeopardy, that we're okay, that things are going to be just the way they are. Now, listen, everything changes, right? Uber, the largest taxi cab company in the world, doesn't have any cars, right? Airbnb, one of the biggest hotel stay chains, doesn't own any hotels. We are changing as we speak, and here on Foreclosure Deals Coach, we are here to get out in front of that change. Not to deny it's happening, but rather get out in front of it. So I'm your host, Donny Coram, your Foreclosure Deals Coach. I got my producer back in the scenes, Mr. Jonathan Winston. Say hi.
Hello, mate. How are you all?
I didn't know he was British. That's awesome. We find out something about people every single day. Jonathan Winston's British. That's awesome. That's awesome. So we are here to bring you what's happening in the real estate market. And in this particular episode, we're going to talk a lot about why to become a foreclosure acquisition specialist. We're going to go into detail about that. We talked about briefly what it was in the last podcast. We're going to talk about why you want to do it and how to get involved in the process. So once again, my name is Donny Coram. I'm your Foreclosure Deals Coach. And since 2004, I've been involved in the real estate industry, but I started as a real estate investor. So I got my background as someone who was buying and selling properties, fix and flips, right? And it was super hyped back then, man. Everybody wanted to get into the investing business. But if you don't have the right mentorship, it's very difficult to get started in any industry. Imagine you're trying to become a top-level gymnast, right? And you're up on that balance beam, falling your butt over and over again, and you can't quite figure out what you're doing wrong. Well, that's not uncommon. Well, a lot of people are going through a situation where they're trying to figure out how to make an industry headway into something, but have not invested in the coaching required. So that's what Foreclosure Deals Coach is all about, is to take people who want to start or expand a career in the real estate industry and help them to go off of proven strategies for getting better in that marketplace. So I hope, as a part of this podcast, I hope that why you're joining us today is to learn something about becoming a foreclosure acquisition specialist. But what is that? What is a foreclosure acquisition specialist? Well, it sounds pretty obvious, right? Someone who specializes in acquiring foreclosures, but there's so much more to it than that. See, the coaching program that I have created is going to help you to understand the foreclosure market. And that's important because of what I started with. The industry is changing. Today, the agent is becoming a commodity. A lot of people are figuring out they can pick up the phone, or worse still, hop on their computer or smartphone even, and have their house sold within 6 to 7 days. Now, if you don't think that's a threat to the entire real estate industry, I'm sorry, but you're delusional, okay? At the end of the day, this is going to happen. It's changing right before our very eyes, and we got to get out in front of it by becoming specialists in a particular niche. Whatever your niche is going to be, I don't care if you decide you want to be a luxury specialist. Maybe there's a neighborhood you live in, right? We're up here in beautiful Denver, Colorado. My wife is a specialist in the downtown Denver luxury condo market. Right? That's your thing. Now, this is not to say that she won't sell properties that are in Highlands Ranch. We got a listing in Highlands Ranch for $1 million right now. It's not to say that you give up every other product you sell. It's to say that you are known and you are good at one particular thing. And that's what we do here. We're trying to help you to be good at one thing, which is foreclosure acquisition. Now, if you're in the Colorado market, you're listening to this, you may realize, like I do, there aren't a ton of foreclosures right now, right? The market's a little sparse. All the more reason to want to be a specialist in this field. Why is that? See, the less there is going on in that field, the more room there is for specialty. Does that make sense? Think about it from the perspective of a doctor. There are a bunch of great, successful doctors out there who are doing various types of medical work, right? But the guys who really are making money as a doctor are the ones who specialize. It's the difference between a general practice doctor who can see everybody and the brain surgeon who could see everybody because he's a doctor, but he specializes in just working on brain surgery. And as a result of that specialty, the income potential is much, much higher. That's what Foreclosure Deals Coach is all about. How can we help take the same 40 to 50 or some agents 60 hours a week you're spending as a real estate agent and make more money doing it by having a specialty? So the specialty we have right now is foreclosures, but Colorado is only one market. Out there are markets where foreclosures are already taking off. There are tons of bank-owned inventory coming back to the market. We happen to be a very strong market right here in downtown Denver, Colorado, but I got to tell you, that does not speak for the country at large. If you look across the country and you go to the HUDHomestore.com list, and I encourage you to do that. That's www.hudhomestore.com. I've been going to that site literally every day for probably the last 7 to 8 years just to look at the HUD inventory and get a feel for what's out there. Because that's a great indicator on what's happening with the foreclosure market. As that list goes higher in number of homes available, that gives you an indication of how many homes are foreclosing right now. So when you look on there for Colorado, you don't find very many. But if you go out to Texas or New Jersey or Florida, you're going to see tons of foreclosed homes. So don't misunderstand. It's happening. The change in the real estate market is happening. It's happening right before our very eyes. So a foreclosure acquisition specialist, why you're here, I hope, to become that, is somebody who is focusing on the foreclosures and being able to relay data about that information to the end user. Let's face it, most real estate data is publicly available. Where agents had a huge advantage in the 80s and even the 90s was that we had exclusive access to what was happening in the market. We had the MLS. We were the only ones who could log in. We knew what was being bought. We knew what was being sold. We had ultimate control over the marketplace. And then what happened? Deregulation, if you will. Zillow hopped up, right? And now suddenly the general consumer can find out what's going on in the market just like that. And as a result, if you are just a generalist providing information they can obtain from going to Zillow, you are of little to no value to the consumer. And that's why the real estate agent model is in jeopardy right now. The information we have as generalist agents does not carry the same 6% per transaction value that it used to carry. Today, we have to understand that you got to bring something else to the table if you intend to be compensated at the rate that a high-producing foreclosure acquisition specialist wants to get compensated at. Whereas the average real estate agent, and I mean this, the average real estate agent, and I didn't make this up, this is the National Association of Realtors, says the average agent is doing 4.3 transactions per month. A year. That's annually. Okay. Now, not all people in real estate are full-time. A lot of part-timers, a lot of soccer moms. You know, not knocking the soccer moms out there. Don't get upset with me. All right. I'm being nice. I'm just saying this is my profession, right? And if your dentist was part-time, right, you might consider getting a different dentist. Am I right? Okay, the people who want to work with, they have a mastery level in this thing. This is the largest investment most people are going to make in their lives. And if they've done more properties than one, which is our desired client, the investor clientele out there that's going to buy 3, 4, 5, 6 houses a year, that guy expects you to know what you're doing. Right? And if you're planning on getting that specialty, in my first year as a foreclosure acquisition specialist, I took that specialty to do 60 transactions in my first year. Now, I'm not going to kid you. That workload was insane. I want you to tell you I enjoyed it. Now, financially, it was incredible. But by taking this expertise, everybody was seeking my knowledge. I had like a waiting list of clients. Hey, Donny, I want you to find me a house. Can you imagine that? With 20,000 agents in the Denver market alone, people were coming to me and saying, I want you to find me a deal in this marketplace. And if you become a foreclosure acquisition specialist, I'm going to train you how to get a waiting list of clients who want to work exclusively with you because you have the expertise they want. And why is that? Because foreclosures are below market assets. They are basically buying, if you imagine Apple stock, I'm recording this on my gorgeous 15-inch MacBook right now. I'm a huge Apple fan, right? But if you could get Apple stock, which is usually trading $100, $150 a share, right? If you could pick up that stock for $25 a share, you'd want to jump on that, right? So when stockbrokers call you with a deal of the century, you listen to them. When you're a foreclosure specialist, which is an earned position built on expertise and knowledge and understanding, when you become that, people are going to seek out what you have to offer and want to work exclusively with you to buy 3, 4, 5 houses a year. So that's what Foreclosure Acquisition Specialist training gets you. When you join my coaching program, I'm going to help you to understand how to attract those clients, how to find the best deals, how to present an analysis on those deals so you can back up your claim. Listen, if you go to a guy and say, I want you to buy this house, it's worth $450,000 and I can get it to you for $380,000, $360,000 even, and you can't back that up with actual hard numbers, you're not as valuable. See, I got my appraiser license before I got my real estate license. I'm a big fan of licensing tests. I don't know why. I got this thing where you set a challenge, right? And I kind of jump on that. Right? So when it was time to get an appraisal license, I was all about that, right? So I obtained that license, I got my real estate license, and I understood out of the gate that the more expertise I bring to this marketplace, the more money I'm going to be worth in the market. And at a time where it's changing all around us, if I can encourage you anything, the devout listeners of Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast, if I can encourage anything, that you find a specialty, the riches are in the niches.
That's good.
You like that? Yeah. The riches are in the niches. That was worth saying again, right? So if you have something you specialize in, whether it's downtown Denver luxury condos, and I love it. My wife gets so excited because she has so much market knowledge about luxury condos in Denver. It's like, oh, you hear about this building going up? Yeah, they have 1,600 square foot units, and maybe about 500, 600,000. I go, how do you know all of this? Like, we'll be walking down the street, we're on Larimer and 20th. She's pointing at an empty lot going, yeah, a developer just bought this lot, and they're going to be putting a high-rise condo development in, right? Because that's the level of expertise to be worth what she is worth in this marketplace and what you're going to be worth as a foreclosure acquisition specialist. Today, my clients come to me looking for advice. And the great thing is, whether or not they're buying that house with me, I offer that advice. Whoa, you give your advice away for free? Listen, this is about relationship building, right? Because I'm an expert, how long did it take me to run a comparable analysis on a property, whether they're buying it with me or not? See, general agents are not getting that phone call. Hey, Donny, I'm thinking about buying this place. Sorry, you're not the agent on this one, but I want to help you out. Or down the road, I want to help that person out because I know that that's going to turn into referral business down the road. Okay, I'm an expert. I'm sought after, and you can be too. So getting started is simple. Again, we want to make this more informative than salesy. I don't want to sell you guys every time you come, but the first podcast has such an overwhelming response. Hey, how do I get started? I want to make sure I mentioned it a couple times. You want to head out to www.foreclosuredealscoach.com. You register there online for either our live event that we're holding right here in Denver or a webinar that we have every single week where you can join up with us and learn about how to get started in this process. Today, we are specifically recruiting people to join up with the team here in Denver so we can work with you. Down the road, this is a large-scale coaching program where we will have foreclosure acquisition specialists all across the United States of America. Just imagine that. People who have focused on a niche, who have been trained by professional real estate investors. And I'm not the only one. I'm bringing in a top-notch group of advisors, people who have been doing this for decades, people I have worked with who are going to be on this show. We're going to discuss what it's like to duke it out in the foreclosure market. But I got to tell you, when the market shifts, which is going to happen, you guys can believe it or not, I'm telling you, I'm the guy who's going to tell you first. When you're listening to this 6, 8, maybe 12 months from now, you're going to say, man, Donny was right. When the market shifts the other direction and there are more foreclosures than there are right now, remember that this specialty is when you should train for before there's a major market change. Right? And those of you who are in markets who are hearing my voice right now, where foreclosures are starting to perk up, you're going to want to do this right now. Get out in front of this. Become an expert. Get the coaching program. Get the Facebook presence. Have people recognizing you in your local bar, local gas station. Hey, you're the foreclosure guy or gal. Yes, I am. I want to buy a deal. I've been watching A&E flip this house for 5, 6 years, and what I know about that show is it doesn't teach you much about foreclosure flipping, okay? What it does teach you is like bubble gum for the brain. It's a cartoon, right? And it's one of the most effective shows A&E ever did, right? Imagine that. Because people just love seeing the before and the after on real estate transactions. Does that describe you? Do you like seeing ugly things get pretty? It's been a passion of mine for years, and a good passion pays well. And that's what this is about. Taking your passion and turning it into income. Not about taking advantage of people. And listen, we do not sell properties. I will never, and I mean never, sell a foreclosure property to anybody that I would not buy myself. That's actually sincere, all right? I am in a position where if the guy I'm selling the property to doesn't qualify for financing, changes his mind, whatever, I can generally buy that house, and I'll be frank with you, most of the time I want to. Right? I'm waiting to see if this deal goes apart, but I don't set my clients up for failure. I want to see them buy it, because if they buy it, what happens? You get paid as an agent, right? When they sell it, what happens? You get paid. And when the client makes money, who do you think they buy the next one with? Instead of having to find client after client to locate, hey, when are you going to buy your next house, or when are you thinking about moving again? The foreclosure specialist has one set of clients that buy 3 to 4 houses per year, every single year. Imagine you had 10 clients who buy 4 houses a year. That's 40 transactions without having to find another single client. And you conduct most of your business from a golf course, right? Because that goes just like this. I found a place. It's in your desired area, in your desired price range, and it's got to close quickly, right? These investors are ready, willing, and able with cash or hard money or private financing. They're ready to pull the trigger because they do this for a living. They just want to know that the guy or gal that's providing the data on the foreclosure is knowledgeable enough and cares enough about their lifestyle, their income, that they will do business with you. My clients do not discuss anything past numbers with me, right? They don't care where it is. They don't care what it is. They generally don't even care how much work is required as long as the numbers line up, right? And if we're buying a property for $280,000 that's going to take $50,000 worth of work, that's $330 total investment, and we're going to sell that house for $400,000, they're ecstatic. This is a numbers game, right? Most real estate agents are trained on the white picket fence real estate model. Right? They want to come in, they want to get you the pretty house in the pretty neighborhood. And there's nothing wrong with that. We need that. But keep it simple. That's what we call retail. Right? When you go to Dillard's or you are buying a hat at the mall, you're paying retail. And you're okay with that. You've got a desired outcome, a product or service you want to purchase, and a price you're willing to pay, and that's the retail market. We're playing in this market that a lot of people aren't even aware exists, the wholesale market. It's below market, it's exciting, but most importantly, it's hidden. It's hidden from the general agent. Although these properties pop up on the MLS, not all of them do, and they don't last long. Although foreclosures are publicly available to everybody to buy and sell, some agents go 10 years in the business and aren't even registered with HUD to do bids. I've met tons of veteran agents who literally never sold a HUD foreclosure. And why not? Those properties are always under market, right? They can be purchased for as little as $100 down, and they're almost always a good deal, right? And when they're not, you can explain to the client why they're not, because they value your expertise when you tell them not to buy as much as you tell them when to buy. Think about that. Clients who want to hear from you because you're bringing them the best deals in the marketplace. That's what Foreclosure Acquisition Specialist training is all about. That's what I'm hoping you're going to tune in each and every week on the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast so we can learn more about how to develop this skill set, how to get better at being a top-notch agent in a niche market where instead of doing the typical 4 transactions, I can teach you how to do 24, 25 transactions a year, every single year, and then build a clientele that works with you year in, year out to buy great deals. That's what this is all about. That's why I hope you're attending this podcast with us today. So listen, we want to keep these kind of short, to the point. If you want to get started once again, I want you to head to www.foreclosuredealscoach.com. Register there for one of 3 options. Okay, we got a webinar that we're going to meet with you weekly for those of you who are out of state. We got a live event. I would love to shake hands and meet with you guys. Those of you who are in the Denver area or coming to the Denver area, reach out. Come to one of our webinars or live events, and let me show you how this could work for you. And finally, we've got our 45-minute strategy call where I will meet with you one-on-one and discuss how this could work in your environment. We're going to talk about it, get you set up with your real estate license, all the coaching you need, the education you need to get started as a foreclosure acquisition sales specialist. Incredible time, man. The real estate market is changing. We got to change with it. I'm so excited that you're being a part of this podcast here today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Listen, I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next one, all right? And if you love what you're hearing here, please share it with your friends. Get the word out there. We're trying to get foreclosure deals coaching into the hands of every agent, everybody who wants to be an agent in the marketplace, because the time is now. The market is shifting, and hopefully I'm the guy that can help you get there. With that, this is Donny Corum, your foreclosure deals coach. Thank you so much for tuning in. Incredible time to be in real estate. Glad you joined us. We'll see you at the top.